Obviously, they've benefited a lot from a protest vote. This massive disaffection among voters who really are fed up with the establishment parties and went for the only thing they haven't really tried yet. They tried the right, they tried the left, and there was this idea: let's go for something radically new, even if it's untested, inexperienced. The so-called experts weren't that good for many voters, so they thought, well, we'll go for those who have zero experience. Now, the Five-Star Movement it's very difficult to define. It's a mixed bag of all sorts of policies, some closer to the left, like their pro-environment stance, their sort of fierce anti-corruption stance. On other issues, they're closer to the right, on immigration, for example, on Euroscepticism. But then again, it really depends who you're talking to in the party, because it's been described as a collector of all the angry people in Italy. Now, that's great in opposition. It's more challenging when you're the one who's presumably going to have to form some kind of government, or at least play a role in this government formation. What's going to be very interesting, one of the really interesting things now, is to see how that sort of balance of power plays out on the right. Because, as she was saying, Berlusconi thought he was the biggest player on the right. It's not so clear now. Depending on the exit polls, they're either tied or perhaps even Lega is just ahead. So this is the anti-immigrant, increasingly far-right party. Italian law says that the pre-election coalitions don't necessarily have to stick together after the vote. So what can happen now is that they can sort of split, and maybe the Lega movement could start sort of trying to turn to the Five-Star Movement, and that's the nightmare scenario for Europe, because you would have a fiercely Eurosceptic party possibly teaming up with a milder Eurosceptic party, which is the Five-Star Movement. Again, it depends who you talk to. Some people in the Five-Star Movement are close to Nigel Farage of the UK on some positions. Others are much more open to even sort of federalist positions. There's really a lot of different voices in there. Now, obviously, what's going to be very interesting is to see, what does Di Maio do? What does the leader of the Five-Star Movement do now? He always said no coalition, but this is the chance for him to take power, and he can't really sort of waste it.